Hello, happy March. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Odds, and we are going to be discussing The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1, or Chapter 17. So, yes, we are back with more Mando after the Book of Boba Fett, which they don't really explain. So we'll get a little bit into that. I'm going to recap the episode at the beginning of the video, and then I'll talk about my thoughts at the end and some of my problems with it, some of the things I'm excited for, and yeah, I'm a little bit low energy because I got up quite early to watch this, so bear with me. But if you're new here today, I would love for you to subscribe. I do 2 videos a week: Star Wars, Disney, DC, Marvel, beauty vlogs, or something on this channel for everyone, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And if you like this video while you're watching, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Okay, so this season opens on the armor making a helmet. I was not sure who this was supposed to be for, but we find out it's for a small boy, and he is taking in the creed. So they're doing a little ceremony, and then it becomes Monster of the Week, where a big, like, alligator monster comes out of the water while they're trying to bathe him in, I guess, like, the waters for their ceremony, like a baptism. He comes out of the water and starts terrorizing everyone. What I noticed about this is that the armor has a significant amount of forces. There are a bunch of people in the creed. Initially there was like 2. It was her and Previsla. I can't remember. He's just the descendant of the leader of the Death Watch. So, I can't remember exactly his name. I'm off to such a good start. But it was just the 2 of them, and then Din Djarin got excommunicated. And yeah, so there are at least 20 of them. I'm not sure who made it out of the Little Monster of the Week section of the episode, but Din then does come and rescue them. He flies in and shoots down the monster. He goes to talk to the armorer, and she's like, "You're a Mandalorian no more," just repeating what we've already heard. And he is saying that he will go bathe in the waters underneath the mines in Mandalore in order to redeem himself. Thought it was a neat little Easter egg that Grogu sees the little beings that travel at the speed of light from Star Wars Rebels. So that was a big factor in Star Wars Rebels, and it's going to be a big factor in Ahsoka moving forward because she's searching for Ezra. So yeah, he sees those creatures as they're traveling. I thought that was nice. It was the first time we've seen them in live action, as far as I am sure. They visit Navarro and visit Greef Karga, who is now High Magistrate. They're talking. He's trying to convince Mando to stay and become Marshal because they need a Marshal. We find out that Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano, who got fired, was selected for special service. So she was written out of the show, the character herself. So no recast gonna happen there, but she was written out of the show. And while they're talking about all this, they get interrupted by pirates in the square who Greef kills off one of them, or shoots one of them in the hand, and then Din kills 4 of them. So this sets up at the end of the episode where there is a space battle between him and the pirates. Din's goal in Navarro is to reconstruct IG-11 so that he can help guide him through Mandalore, since Mandalore is pretty much a wasteland, or so we're led to believe. That's a big thing here, is like you don't know exactly what to believe, because bo-katan originally said that it's all a myth, and then everybody else is saying that it's complete wasteland. So I guess we'll see when we go to Mandalore later in the season, because I definitely think that's where we're headed. So he gets IG-11 turned on, but then he reverts back to his old programming and tries to kill Grogu. But then they shut him down and take him to Babu Frick from The Rise of Skywalker. Yes, we're connecting I have mentioned before in my Mandalorian videos that we're connecting. This is supposed to be a bridge between the original series and the sequel series. So the sequel trilogy is being connected by, it's hanging on by Babu Frick. So there you go. He says that IG-11 can't be fixed until they get a replacement memory core, so Din Djarin is going to go on a hunt for a new memory core. There's a very cute scene where Grogu tries to squeeze Babu Frick, because Babu Frick is small. And then Din goes to visit bo-katan. She is hanging out in a palace all by herself. She is so emo. She's just not dealing with anything well. So she reveals that since she did not return with the Darksaber, her forces have left her. So the Night Owls are no more, because she does not have the Darksaber. So she tells Din that if he has it, he should go wield it and people will follow his every command. But she is not going to really help him. She tells him where the waters of Mandalore are, where the mines are, and kind of goes back and forth. She's really going through it. It's pretty clear that she's really going through it. So, yeah. So let's talk about the episode as a whole. I thought this was a fine entry into season 3. I didn't think it was spectacular. I lit up when I saw bo-katan because, God, I love her so much. And she is, like I said, she's really going through it. So I don't know. Initially, the trailer made it seem like she would be the villain of season 3, and I think that's still possible. But after episode 1, she doesn't really seem like a villain to me. So, I mean, she could develop into that later throughout the series, but she just doesn't seem that way to me. So a big thing that happened is about last night, Jon Favreau said that season 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian take place over several years, and there is a 2-year time jump between Mandalorian season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett. If you didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett, you would know why Grogu is back with Mando, because they don't explain it. But they also don't explain the time jumps, so that's kind of weird that they just decided to try to explain why things were so rushed together by saying it was a couple years apart. I mean, maybe that was the intention all along, but you should probably make that clear to your audience that there is a big span of time that's taking place, because I assumed it was over maybe the course of a month. So very different expectations that are there. Grogu's back in his cuteness. He is just such a market to sell toys, and I will eat it up. I don't care. I think he's adorable, and I love him, and I can't wait to see what he does with his force powers, since he did use them in the Book of Boba Fett towards the end. So yeah, we will definitely see some Grogu force using. I wonder if any of the Jedi characters will show up. Ahsoka did show up in the Book of Boba Fett as well. So we'll see if maybe Ahsoka shows up anytime during this. I know she's ramping up for her own series, but maybe she'll show up sometime in this, since she was introduced in The Mandalorian. So there's a possibility we could see some other Jedi, but that's not really where the story is going, so I wouldn't really expect it to really do that. I think it's like we're ramping up for Grogu to become a Mandalorian rather than a Jedi. So I think he's going to be very similar to I don't know how he's going to wield it, but I think they're setting up that he's going to be like the creator of the Darksaber, who was a Jedi and a Mandalorian. So I think they're going to go that way. I don't know how he's going to wield the Darksaber. It's a very big lightsaber. Also, I need to see him in little Mandalorian armor because that would be precious. I think once Mando redeems himself, if he does go that route, I could also see him throwing that away, but I feel like he's just so determined to redeem himself in the eyes of the armorer and the clan that is when Grogu will then get his Mandalorian armor. So yeah, I definitely see this series ending in Grogu and Mandalorian armor because, again, merchandising standpoint, that's gonna be adorable and we need to see it. So yeah, so that is it for episode 1. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, again, please give it a big old thumbs up. And let me know your thoughts on the season premiere of The Mandalorian. What did you think of this series? What did you think of this video? Well, what did you think of the episode, not the series? Are you excited for where things are going to go? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on Saturday with a new video. Bye!